This is the origin story of SquareVoyage314. A long time ago, in a land far away, SquareVoyage had joined a multiplayer world far before realms and servers for console players. He found some friends through a Xbox Live group post, or they were like posts to find friends for games that didn't have multiplayer lobbies. And after joining a few games, almost gave up because the toxicness of the younger players, or of the time. Like, it was a very toxic time. They were all not super fun, but luckily I did eventually find the people I clicked with. I didn't realize that these guys were going to really open my eyes to this wonderful game. SquareVoyage SquareVoyage's base was very far from theirs, and due to the fact that elytra were harder to get back then, and you couldn't even use rockets to fly on console back then, you had to use a punch 2 bow, we would go whole weeks without seeing each other's bases. And this was my first time visiting Beastie Thor's newest base. Oh yeah, we would build several bases on that world. And weeks later we would like, oh yeah, come over, blah blah blah. And we're normally greeted by fire arrows or something like that, so I kind of knew to expect it, really. But my mind was blown by this back then, guys. It was like, oh man. It was my first time in a Greek texture pack world, so that was like almost painful because I had to think more than normal, because all the graphics weren't the same, so all the little items in your hand you had to read. But anyway, these guys taught me, oh yeah, my mind was blown. But anybody could build it these days. It's not even that great, but back then it was pretty cool. But that was part 1 of SquareVoyage's origin stories.